How old were you when you found out that the same screenwriter who appears in the mission Reuniting the Family in GTA 5, where Michael takes the notebook and smashes it in Fabien's face and all, also appears in another mission of GTA 5, which is the VIP taxi mission, where we have to also take a screenwriter to make another stop. If everything goes well, GTA 6 will be here next year, and people still won't have discovered everything about GTA 5, even though it's been about 14 years since the game was released. The game is extremely large, with many details in missions, curiosities, and more, and in this video I'll be bringing you another curiosity about each mission in GTA 5. I brought a video like this about 6 months ago that I divided into 2 parts, and now I'm going to bring you another complete video. So with that said, go ahead and leave a like and subscribe, and let's get started. In the prologue mission, you can see a dead guy in the guard booth outside. Actually, I think a lot of people don't even notice that. But as soon as we leave the bank, there's that huge shootout. And when we're about to leave the bank area, there's a guard booth where there's a dead guard. The interesting thing is that it's not just a dead guard, but the way he died, that seriously, besides being brutal, it was kind of strange. The shot seems to have come from inside out, and the shot was right in the guy's eye. If you look at the NPC and the amount of blood in there, you can understand that one of the protagonists or one of the characters from the heist itself leaned this guy against the wall, shot him in the eye, making all that blood mess inside, and then put the guy back in the chair again. Or that's what happened. Or there's kind of a plot hole here, since a lot of people wouldn't stop to explore or notice what's in here inside this guard booth. In the mission Franklin and Lamar, there is a very interesting detail. When we stole the cars and later found out about the whole scheme with Simeon in the Complications mission, we start to think that even with the payments not going through, Simeon goes there and does a supposed vehicle recovery. Well, in this matter of the Franklin and Lamar mission, I think the guy actually bought the cars and wasn't paying Simeon. This is because after this mission, if you come back here, you can see a house sale sign. And the detail is not just the sale sign, but the reason written is foreclosure, as if the guy couldn't pay the house financing and the house was auctioned off. In the mission Repossession, for some reason in this mission, I don't know exactly why, the motorcycle kickstand is used, but this is not in the gameplay. Even if you ride Franklin's motorcycle there, you stop the motorcycle, etc. The kickstand will never actually work, but specifically in this mission, as soon as Franklin arrives, he pulls the kickstand, and as soon as Lamar leaves, it is clearly shown that he pulls on the motorcycle kickstand to leave. I don't know why they emphasized this detail, but they didn't put it in the gameplay. The mission Complications is the only mission in the entire game with the exclusive animation, which is the door opening animation. If I already brought a video where I showed some things that are exclusive to missions, and one thing that only this mission has is this animation when you try to open the door. Even on the garage gate, there is an exclusive animation for that, which is never used again throughout the game. I don't know why. Like, the animation was ready, Rockstar didn't make it available in normal gameplay, but anyway, it's something that reminds me a lot of Red Dead Redemption. In the mission Father-Son, I don't know if you guys had noticed this, but this is the only time in the whole game that we can see a prison bus, that gray bus and such. It is more used in GTA Online, but in story mode it only appears in this exact stretch here on the highway, in this part of the mission. Many theories say that this prison bus is precisely the bus that is bringing the Stretch when he leaves prison, showing him coming from prison, etc. Although you try to explore inside the bus, you won't find any NPC that seems important to the story and such, but many theories point out that this bus appears specifically in this mission, because a few missions ahead the Stretch will appear, saying that he got out of prison. So in theory, that was when he was coming back to Los Santos. In the Chop mission, there is a very interesting detail that many people did not notice, a really realistic detail. Before the Chop mission at Franklin's house, you can't see a sign there saying beware of dog. However, after the Chop mission where Chop will stay at Franklin's house for a while, when you arrive at Franklin's house, you see a sign there saying beware of dog. And after the hotel assassination mission, which is when Franklin moves to Vinewood, that sign is also removed. Man, people really paid a lot of attention to the details of GTA 5. After the mission Pulling Favors, you can hear Tanya talking, probably with JB or one of his friends, and it's a pretty cool dialogue, a bit lengthy, and if you keep listening next to her for a while, she will ask you to leave, but check it out, it's pretty cool.
Oh, so now you want to pick up? I got Franklin do that job for you. Franklin Clinton? Who do you think, JB? What job? Your job, you cracked out fool? You can barely work a fart out your ass right now. Oh no! Don't you try to sweet talk me. Damn right. Too fine for you, that's for sure. Aight, but you best save me a taste. You still sniffing around? You like a dog in heat. I thought you said you was busy, man. You can't keep your eyes off me, can you? You hate saying goodbye, don't you, Franklin Clinton? Control yourself, boy.
The mission marriage counseling has a slightly interesting detail. Actually not exactly in the mission, but it starts in this mission, which is the following. When Michael arrives at the house, he sees the tennis coach with Amanda, and the tennis coach is wearing underwear with a leopard print and so on. The funny part about this is that when you unlock Trevor, you can buy exactly the same underwear at the suburban store to act like a tennis coach. Funny thing is, if you get close to Michael or Amanda with this same underwear, there is no reaction. I think it could have been a really cool Easter egg for Rockstar to have put in. In the mission, Daddy's Little Girl, regardless of whether you kill the guys chasing you on the jet ski or not, after that these same NPCs will make some posts on Life Invader. You can check it out on Tracy's Life Invader and I think Jimmy's too. In the mission friend request, there's something that only works when you do the mission the normal way in the middle of the story mode. It doesn't work by replaying the mission, which is a cutscene where Michael arrives and flips off Lester before Lester opens the door. This cutscene itself is nothing special, but there is a wallpaper of Lester sitting in the chair, where in the background of this wallpaper there are several cameras, and one of those cameras is showing exactly that scene of Michael flipping off Lester. In the mission The Long Stretch, we have a beef basically only with the ballast inside that abandoned recycling warehouse and all. However, in the beta version of the game, we would also have a beef here with the SWAT, or in the case of GTA 5 with the noose, and then the beef would be against the ballast and the SWAT. I believe this mission would be much more interesting. In the mission, Casing the Jewel Store, one thing you can do that a lot of people don't know is simply instead of getting in the car with Lester and heading straight to the jewelry store, you can go back inside Lester's factory and explore everything. All the doors will basically be open, including in that standard planning room where the guys are chatting. And there you can see a beta version of what that Lester's factory would be, or at least an initial sketch, stuck on the wall like a board. In the mission The Jewel Store Job, we blow up the entire jewelry store, and after that the jewelry store remains closed for the rest of the game. Strangely, during the heist you can come back here and see the jewelry store completely repaired, with the manager's room open, which was not available the first time you were there during the heist and everything. And it's kind of strange because it's basically all fixed, but after the mission is over it remains closed forever in the game. A very interesting detail that most people didn't notice here in the mission Mr. Phillips, where Johnny Klebitz dies at the hands of Trevor, basically at his feet to be more precise. Johnny Klebitz is wearing the Vice President patch again. On his jacket it says Vice President. And for those who played the GTA 4 DLC, you can see that at the end of GTA 4 in the Lost and Damned DLC, he becomes president. So either this is a plot hole, or between 2008 and 2013, Johnny Klebitz lost his position as president of that division of the Lost MC, and this is probably the case since we can see that Johnny Klebitz is no longer the badass he was in GTA 4. The guy has lost a lot of respect and credibility, and now he's a drug addict. In the mission, Trevor Phillips Industries, Tao Cheng, and their translator are placed in that ice storage device next to Trevor's lab, and no matter how long you take in this mission, they will stay inside. I think it would be much more realistic if this mission had a timer, like 5 minutes, and if it went over 5 or 10 minutes, Tao Cheng and the translator would come out of the ice business and either die in the shootout or freeze to death. I think it's a detail that was missing in this mission that would have made it much more dynamic and realistic as well. In the mission Nervous Run, a detail that I really liked about this mission is seeing that the ATVs that Trevor refers to as company property are literally company property in some way. Detail, I'm not saying they were bought, they may have been stolen and then became company property, just like the FIB helicopter that Trevor ends up taking. But you can see that these ATVs are from the company because you can see the name TPI 1000, and TPI would be Trevor Phillips Industries. And I don't know where the 1000 comes from, but anyway, you can see that the ATVs really belong to Trevor Phillips Industries. In the mission Crystal Maze, Trevor destroys the O'Neill brothers' house, blows everything up, sets it on fire, and so on. And there is a promotional wallpaper that references this, which is a wallpaper where Trevor is holding the gasoline can and the lighter. A really cool part of this wallpaper is that there is a line behind Trevor towards the back of Mount Chiliad, and if you can follow that line in the normal game using Mod No Clip, you will basically end up where there is a sunken UFO in the sea. Many theories suggest that in this wallpaper there was already a hint for you to find the UFO down there, and that the UFO had something to do with this mission. I'm not really sure about that, but give it a try on your own, follow that line, and you will see that it will lead you right to where there is a UFO. And then if you comment down below what you think. In the mission Friends Reunited, there is a really cool detail that when we leave Trevor's trailer towards the Lost MC camp and then head to Los Santos, this mission has a script to make it rain afterwards. And then we can hear Wade commenting on it, right? Because it's going to rain and all, and if they were going to stop somewhere. The funny thing is that this doesn't happen 100% of the time. If you get into another closed-top car, this dialogue won't happen, and a different dialogue will take its place. I'll leave both here for you to take a look.
Okay, I got my big eyes, but where are we stopping on the way? Cause you know, I'm getting kind of wet over here. Okay,
20. In the mission, Fame or Shame, there is a detail that many people don't notice here. Trevor tells Michael that Laszlo messed with Michael's daughter, and that if he were Michael, he would have cut Laszlo's ponytail. It may seem like something trivial, but it's something that Michael takes to heart. And in the next fight he has with Laszlo, which is at the tattoo studio, he ends up cutting off his ponytail as Trevor had suggested in the mission Fame or Shame.
This is your daughter. You should be wanting to rip the fucking ponytail off the back of this guy's head. And you!
In the mission Dead Man Walking, the first guard who appears looking for Michael is basically wearing the same outfit as Steve Haynes in the mission The Wrap-Up. I think the only real difference is that the guy in this Dead Man Walking mission is wearing a kind of glitchy holster, while Steve Haynes in The Wrap-Up isn't wearing this accessory, but the polo shirt and pants are exactly the same. In the mission Three's Company, Michael goes out with Dave Norton to meet the characters at the EFIB field. The interesting thing here is that the same car that Michael uses, which belongs to Dave, is the exact same car that appears in the big heist option B. And I don't know why that is, maybe it's just a reuse or a mistake that the developers made and ended up duplicating the two cars. But you can tell both by the model and also by the vehicle's license plate. Putting them side by side, you can see that it's exactly the same car. In the mission By the Book, if you decide to pull a tooth from Mr. K, that tooth will later appear on Floyd's table along with the pliers that Trevor used in that dentist surgery. The mission Hood Safari may be the biggest reference to GTA San Andreas that we can see within GTA 5. In addition to the NPCs that appear there referencing the first mission, which are those 3 NPCs on bikes, the fight all takes place on Grove Street and is against the Ballas, and many people think that's where it ends. But what many people don't know is that Rockstar really delved into this mission, and in order for you to discover everything that is in this mission regarding the Grove Street families and references to the world of GTA San Andreas, you have to do this mission twice, with one of them ending with Trevor and the other ending with Franklin, because with each of them there will be a different dialogue with Lamar about the families and the past era and everything else. Check it out, because both dialogues are really good.
Hey, you know Grove Street used to be family hood.
Grove Street family? Man, long time ago.
Man, what happened to them dudes?
Shit, I don't know. Could be dead. Shit, or could be CEOs by now.
Or probably living in some suburb somewhere driving SUVs and shit, you know, soccer moms and shit, coaching little league football teams.
Yeah, the suburban flight, huh? Probably so.
That's gonna be me and you one day, dawg.
If we lucky, man. Shit, at the moment, it looks like we gonna end up the other direction.
Man, crazy dude's all right.
I thought y'all get along. Maybe y'all too much alike, though.
Me and him? Oh, hell no, man. You think?
Hell yeah, I think.
Tell me something.
What's that?
Why aren't you like head to foot in green with the Ballas like head to foot in purple?
Man, that's old school, man. We don't do that shit no more.
Oh yeah? So how you know what side someone's on?
Man, you just know. Them ballers might wear a purple hat or like a shirt with some purple in it, or maybe like a hat with a B on it for the baller shit. And you know how we get down, the families, we rock the feuds hats with the F's on it, you know what I'm saying? Or rock the green kicks with the green laces.
Okay.
Man, everybody already know who everybody is. It's just the law to say certain gang insignias make you part of some vast criminal conspiracy or some shit. They just want to hit you with that RICO charge.
So, am I like families now?
Nah, homie. You just a weird, crazy dude.
In the mission Did Somebody Say Yoga, after completing a full yoga session during that mission, which is super boring to be honest, Fabien tells Michael that he hopes to have helped him with the sexual impotence he had, and Michael ends up not understanding in the end. I believe that this is one of the excuses that Amanda used to pretend that she had an agreement with her husband saying, "My husband has potency and he doesn't mind me being with other guys." And I think that's probably what Kyle Chaves was referring to in the mission Marriage Counseling, where he said that Amanda mentioned that he and Michael had an agreement. So I think Amanda was telling everyone that Michael was impotent, and that's why she cheated on him, and he didn't care.
I'm glad we have helped with your impotence, Mikhail.
What'd you say?
Your sexual energies have been blocked for too long.
Fuck you, Michael. Go away.
I'm paying that turd $150 an hour to fuck my wife in my own bed?
Michael, go away.
No, I'm sorry, bro. She said you had an arrangement.
You and I are gonna have an arrangement. I'm gonna arrange your fucking funeral.
I'm really sorry, bro. I'll comp the session. I promise.
You are dead man. Fuck. Dead. Come here.
In the hotel assassination mission, if you kill the guy and leave quickly using Franklin's special ability, etc. If you're really fast without crashing the vehicle and manage to get to Aunt Denise's house quickly, you can still arrive there in time to be in the middle of Lester's call. You can also do this with mods if you're playing on PC, and if you're inside the house when the call ends with Lester, you'll see that all the items will disappear from Franklin's house in the suburbs and automatically respawn in the house in Vinewood, which is a really cool detail that Rockstar didn't really need to do. They could have left Franklin's house full here and the other house there with the same duplicated items in Vinewood, because after this mission, Aunt Denise's house is also closed. But anyway, in any case, Rockstar made sure to remove everything from the house exactly when the call ends. Pretty cool. In the mission, Scouting the Port, I don't know if it's a bug or if it's some really strange thing, but if you have a beard and press to replay the mission Scouting the Port, in the initial cutscene, Trevor will always appear without a beard. I don't exactly know why this happens, but anyway, there it is. I think it must be some bizarre error, but no one has ever cared enough to fix it. In the mini submarine mission, when you steal the mini submarine and everything, if you skip the mission cutscene, the crane that lifts the submarine and puts it on the truck will disappear. So if you leave it on the side and watch it complete, you will see that when you watch the whole cutscene and the cutscene ends, there is a crane behind, including the tip of the crane right near the submarine, which was what lifted the submarine and placed it there. However, if you skip the entire cutscene, all the stuff disappears. In the Merryweather heist on the freighter version, there is a very interesting detail. In the PlayStation 3 version, Lester arrives here in a taxi, which is the part where he will tell you to return the stolen item and throw it back into the ocean or the sea, etc. However, from the PlayStation 4 version onwards, you can no longer see the taxi. So in the PlayStation 3 cutscene, you can see a taxi in the background, which is what left Lester there, but in the other versions, you can't see it. Quite interesting. In the early trailers of the multi-target assassination heist, there is a scene shown with the three characters looking down from above, which is part of where Trevor stays in the final version. However, this scene does not exist in the final mission. In fact, the animation similar to that one is only seen in the mission The Third Way. In the final version of the game, showing that a lot has changed since the trailers to the final version, there is even a video on this channel about it, showing all the details that were altered from the trailers to the game's release version. The mission I Fought the Law has a really cool detail that many people don't discover. Why? Because you have to play it 3 times and do it 3 times in different ways. As soon as we get the cars from the Playboys there at Zancudo Bridge, the character we choose and drive to Los Santos will make a call to Molly. But this call changes depending on who calls. So with Trevor, with Franklin, with a Michael, with a sound 3 different calls, and all are pretty cool. Check it out. I'll show you all 3.
Speak.
Ah, the lady from before. Devin's assistant. Good to be working with you.
It's Molly Schultz, Senior Vice President and General Counsel to Mr. Weston's holding company. And if you think it's good to be working with common thieves, well, you're very mistaken. Have you got the cars?
Wow, the whole resume. Yeah, we got the cars.
Bring them to Hayes Auto on Little Bighorn in South Los Santos. Mr. Weston and I will meet you there. Yes?
I know that voice. You're that Johnson's Johnson.
Molly Schultz, Senior Vice President and General Counsel to Devin Weston's holding company, if that's what you mean.
Oh, keep talking. I'm enjoying this.
Let's assume you're talking about the cars. Bring them to Hayes Auto on Little Bighorn in South LS. Mr. Weston and I will meet you there.
Whoa, don't hang up. I think I love you.
Hello?
Hey, you that lady? The intense dude's assistant, right?
Assistant? This is Molly Schultz, Senior Vice President and General Counsel for Devin Weston Holdings.
I need to tell Devin we got them cars.
Mr. Weston will not discuss matters like this with you on the phone. I'll be your port of call for business concerns.
Well, shit, me and your boss ain't gonna have any personal concerns.
Bring the cars to Hayes Auto on Little Bighorn in South Los Santos. Mr. Weston and I will meet you there.
In the mission Eye in the Sky, there are 2 ways to complete this mission that will or will not trigger a dialogue from Trevor talking about Molly. One of them happens if you shoot Chad Mulligan as soon as he gets out of the vehicle, and the other happens if you don't shoot. An important detail is that if you don't shoot, the police will come after you too. So maybe that's why the dialogue doesn't happen, but take a look at the dialogue I'm talking about.
Shit, I think they both gonna be there, dog. Devin and Molly.
Say hello from me to Molly.
Man, I ain't hitting on nobody for you, man. Least of all her.
Come on, why not? It's about time I settled down.
Shit, man, you need like a lion tamer or some shit. This girl, man, she got balls, dog, but she needs some serious stones to handle your ass.
Just say hello.
Man, I ain't gonna be a part of that.
After everything I've done for you, you
You are just like Michael. So, the old hanging Chad has only gone and reported that car stolen.
Shit! And I spared this motherfucker.
In the mission, Mr. Richards, you can hear two workers right at the beginning, you know, when we're entering the club, talking about how Rocco or someone from management wanted to set fire to the whole club and collect the insurance prize. It may seem like a simple dialogue at first glance, but for those who played the GTA 4 DLC, The Ballad of Gay Tony, it shows that Rocco Pelosi still has more or less the same line of thinking that he had back in the GTA 4 days, since he is one of the antagonists of that GTA 4 DLC, and he also planned to do something very similar to the club there.
It's hard to tell with these mob guys, you know. I don't know if he actually wants to turn it into a club, or, you know, burn it down and claim the insurance money. You've seen the movies, right? It's the kind of scam they run. Only I think this Rocco guy is so stupid. He wants to do both. You know, take the cash out and have this date rape palace operational. We ain't exactly obeyed the letter of the law in terms of fire regs, so it'll probably burn whether he wants to claim insurance or not.
In the mission, Caida Libre, that van with the weapon inside, is never seen again, and it also cannot be spawned with mods. It seems that van is a 100% regular van, but when we get inside it, we enter a screen there and such, which simulates as if there was a weapon inside. In other words, there is no real van with weapons, and if there is, there would already be some mod to spawn it, and at least I haven't found any yet. In the mission deep inside, there is an actress who stands next to Franklin when Franklin goes to steal the vehicle. And a really cool detail is that this NPC sitting in the passenger seat was created only for this mission, or at least she is used only in this mission because she does not appear on the street or anywhere else. And there are several NPCs that appear in various places, okay? And later I'll bring a video showing you, but there are NPCs that appear as characters within missions, and after that they become NPCs scattered somewhere on the map. That's not the case with this actress. She specifically only appears here. In the mission Minor Turbulence, there is a cutscene that happens very rarely. Actually, I don't know if this is a cutscene or if it's a secret interaction, but when it happens, you can see the two fighter jets kind of matching up there with the plane. When Trevor is trying to escape and the guy kind of waves to Trevor and Trevor flips him off, but it's a very funny situation, extremely difficult to make happen. I think the two have to be very matched up, but it was only once. In the mission Predator, there is a curiosity that is possible to see Bigfoot's thermal signature. We can see it there when we are aiming with the thermal scope. However, a cool detail is that it's not just the shadow, not just the thermal part of Bigfoot. If you use a mod in clip and go where Bigfoot is supposed to be, you will see that he is also there and he simply disappears. Besides that, there is another reference to Bigfoot within this mission, which is when you are approaching the last O'Neill brother, he says something like, "I'm the last of my kind," which translated is, "I am the last of my species." And the same line that is used in the mission, the last one, when Bigfoot is captured.
I'm the last of my kind.
In the planning of the Paleto Bay heist, Michael is arguing with Trevor and saying that a few weeks ago he was doing well, having a drink there in front of the pool, a part that is different from the first trailers as well, because in the first trailers, originally Franklin would also be in this part when this discussion was happening.
A few weeks ago, I was happily retired, sulking by my swimming pool. A few weeks ago, I was happily sulking by my swimming pool.
The Paleto Bay heist has a very interesting detail because the characters arrive there to steal the money, and after the robbery actually happens, we immediately go into a shootout. That's why no one goes back to look inside the vault. But if you go back inside the bank vault, you'll see that there's a pair of panties thrown in there. I mean, you have to admit that's kind of strange. Like, why would someone keep panties in there, right? Anyway, I think it's kind of random. 40. In the mission Derailed, they talk about the monthly Merryweather train, which passes by every month and usually carries a lot of cargo or valuable shipments. However, it is never mentioned again in the game. This suggests that the GTA 5 story does not span more than 2 complete months because Trevor and Ron speak very importantly about this train. They emphasize it a lot, but it is never mentioned again in the game, so at least 1 complete month has passed, but at most, probably not more than 2 complete months throughout the entire GTA 5 story. In the mission Monkey Business, when you are on top of the boat, if you keep pressing without stopping to go into the water, you may end up jumping into the water with Steve Haynes, like throwing yourself into the water. However, even if you jumped at the same time as him, when the dive actually starts, Steve Haynes will already be far ahead of you. In the mission Hang Ten, there is a very interesting detail here. When Trevor arrives after like, I don't know, a week or two in which he lives in the trailer hidden there, Floyd's house is already all tidy and even kind of renovated, right? Considering that paintings, walls, furniture, and so on were damaged. But the interesting detail is not that. The really interesting detail is that when Trevor arrives at the house, Deborah doesn't say anything about like damaged furniture and everything. So it all implies that Floyd managed to fix everything before Deborah arrived and Deborah never realized that someone else had lived there. If not, I believe when Trevor arrived, there would be some dialogue about Deborah asking if it was that guy who had damaged the house or something like that. And since there wasn't, I think the house was all fixed before Deborah returned from her work convention. At the end of the mission, surveying the score, you can see the body of the former shoe store manager falling out of the fridge there and all. However, if you go back there, whether with Michael or Franklin, right at the same time the mission ends, you won't be able to see that NPC in there, like he's simply cleaned out from there. I would like to go back there and see if there was any secret interaction, but there isn't anything. In the mission, Bury the Hatchet, when you do this mission with Michael, Michael goes by commercial plane to North Yankton, and up to there, everything is fine. But the detail that I think the vast majority, I don't know, 99.9% of people didn't notice, is that when that plane is taking off, the commercial plane is shown camera sideways. In the background, you can see for a few frames North Yankton spawning. And the funniest thing about showing North Yankton spawning is because North Yankton, you clearly see that it's sideways and the plane is going to the other side. That has nothing to do with it. I don't know if this is visible in all versions of GTA 5, so test it on your GTA and comment here. In the mission Pac-Man, even though we only stole 5 cars for Devin Weston, there are 6 cars on that car carrier. This is because there was one more mission in the beta, which was a mission with Bruce from GTA 4 that was cut in GTA 5. I brought this up in a video where I reconstructed beta missions that were altered or removed from GTA 5. Take a look here on the channel. It's a really cool video, but YouTube didn't push it out much to people. Around halfway through the mission Fresh Meat, Michael grabs a revolver and shoots the chain that is holding him by the feet, managing to free himself. However, if you try to shoot that chain, it won't work. And even when it does work, sometimes you end up killing Michael. So, it doesn't make much sense. I wish I could get to this mission here and already be able to shoot the chain that is holding Michael's foot, so that Michael is already freed. However, the mission script completely locks this part. In the mission cleaning out the bureau, we enter the janitor's house and it's possible to see in the background a calendar with the exact release date of GTA 5, which was September 17th, 2013. This calendar not only appears here in the janitor's house, over at Lester's house you see the same calendar with the same date. In the mission Reuniting the Family, when you get to the coffee machine where Fabien and Amanda are talking, there's a screenwriter trying to work on a script there, and then Michael takes her notebook and smashes it by hitting Fabien. The cool part is that when we buy the taxi property with Franklin, we have 9 exclusive taxi missions, which are the VIP taxi missions, and in one of these missions we have to pick up a screenwriter who is basically the same NPC, and we talk to her about some things and we see that like she's probably going to be fooled by the guy and all. Franklin gives her some advice, but anyway, I liked seeing this connection. I don't know if it's exactly the same thing, right? If it's exactly the same NPC, but from what I saw of the 2 missions, I understood that it is. 49, for some reason, always before starting the Architect's Plant mission, Trevor will be on a deserted island full of dead lost MC NPCs. I don't know exactly why this happens, right? I know that the Architect's Plant mission usually happens after reuniting the family or something, and then Michael is no longer available, so it automatically switches to Trevor, and Trevor will have killed a bunch of the lost MC guys there, and then if you switch to Franklin, it will start the Architect's Plant mission. So I think it's kind of forced for us to switch to Franklin, and Franklin is already at that part of the Architect's Plant mission. In the mission Legal Trouble, if you're driving the car really fast and hit that ramp at the entrance of the airport just right, which is that dumpster that probably has garbage inside, the car will be so far away due to the height it reaches that the mission may even fail depending on how high you hit. It's kind of difficult, you know? But yeah, you can fail the mission because it will say that you got too far from Molly. In the fire truck heist, there's a detail that many people don't notice, which is when we're wearing the firefighter outfit. So the detail is more about the outfit than the mission itself. The firefighter outfit has its own sound, you know, like it has its own noise, you know, with all that gear moving and everything. And since we only use it in this mission, it's only in this mission that you can notice. However, because there's so much noise in this mission, like gunfire, NPCs talking, sirens, etc., you don't even realize it. But wearing the firefighter outfit in a quiet place, you can notice all the sound of the firefighter outfit, and it's really cool. In the mission The Wrap Up, there is mass destruction inside the court center. However, for some reason that I don't know what it is, the helicopter that we destroy with that Merryweather NPC, which is Trevor himself, who has to shoot at it, there is even a cutscene and everything. That specific helicopter still remains inside the court center, all destroyed and the NPCs around, and no one cares about it. Kind of bizarre. I don't know why that is, but I've also shown that in a GTA 5 map evolution video where I brought all the locations that evolved or not throughout the missions, and man, there's a ton of stuff, and this is one of the locations. Worth taking a look. The mission Lamar Down is the only mission where FIB's Buffalo is shown throughout the game, that beautiful exclusive car. This car spawned in the first generation of GTA 5, which was on PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, and then they removed this spawn from other versions, I don't know why, so it becomes even rarer to be seen only in this mission. In the mission The Meltdown, if you kill the guard holding Tracy with the stun gun that theoretically doesn't draw blood from anyone, in the cutscene where Tracy is completely scared, there will still be blood on her face as if you had shot with a regular gun at that NPC. In the loud approach of the Big Score mission, despite being an extensive and intense shootout, regardless of the shooter you choose, they will survive. I don't know why this specifically happens in the Big Score mission, because if you choose bad shooters in other heists throughout the game, they will die like Norm Richards or Daryl Johns, or there are others that die. But specifically in the Big Score loud approach, no shooter dies, kind of strange. But anyway, in the end, it ends up being kind of cool. The mission Something Sensible has a very extensive car chase. The chase you have against Trevor is much longer than the chase you have against Michael, but a detail that many people didn't notice is that basically where you start the mission, you just take a very large loop around the map, but it's almost in the same place. If you look at point A, which is where you start, point B, which is where you end, you will see that they are very close to each other. I don't know why Trevor took that detour, but anyway. In the mission where you choose to kill Michael or Franklin, he calls Trevor for help, to see if Trevor wants to help or not, and Trevor refuses to help. This is because Trevor must be very loyal to Michael, but at the same time he is loyal to Michael. At this point in the game, he is still very angry at Michael for what he discovered there in the mission Bury the Hatchet and so on, especially the betrayal of Michael. So even though he doesn't help Franklin, he still doesn't warn Michael, and it seems that if you decide to kill Michael, Trevor also doesn't feel remorse for Michael's death. He just gets mad at Franklin for betraying a friend's loyalty. In the mission The Third Way, if you destroy Devin Weston's car as soon as you arrive at the mansion, the car will respawn or be simply fixed for you to continue the mission at the end of it. So if you arrive at Devin's house and blow up the vehicle and then start the shootout, in the end the cutscene will happen normally with the car 100% repaired. 59. Throughout this video I talked about some beta things that happened and such in missions and all. I'll leave here next to the yellow arrow a complete reconstitution of the missions that were completely cut or altered in GTA 5. Trust me, if they will really enjoy this video, turned out really good. And that's it guys, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. See you later.